Hello, and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome actually back to my new home. Before we head into London and I reveal a new car order of mine, I just wanted to touch base and say a massive thank you to the response to Exton Coaching, my new mentoring business with my twin brother and all the amazing people I've met so far. Thank you so much. And a bit of a tie-in actually, because I've been recommending once again, as I always do, Squarespace on the channel. This video was brought to you with Squarespace. From online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the perfect place to build a beautiful website and run your business. Now, I always hark on about Squarespace with good reason, and if you use the link below with my code, then you will receive a discount on your first website. If you're ever thinking of setting up a website, be it a passion project or a business, make sure you're using Squarespace because they really are the go-to place for such a thing. They've got loads of amazing, beautiful templates on there, and they can actually mean that your website is mobile optimized as well as desktop optimized off the bat, super simply. They also enable you to build email campaigns, which are really crucial, and also help you optimize things like SEO, which is really important, and set up subscription models as well. If you're starting a business, a subscription business is a really valuable thing. You can also backlog content there as well, so if you're super busy bee like me, you can do a load of content, have a super productive day, and then you're covered for the rest of the month. And the website will actually time release content out, particularly if you've got a blog or something like that. You can actually make it look like you're releasing regular content. You've actually only spent half a day or a day making content. Very useful indeed. Anyway, those are just a few of the features, and we're going to crack on with the video very shortly and get into London and reveal the new order. But if you are doing a website anytime soon, you're thinking of it, make sure you use the code. That's why I'm pointing. Make sure you use the code with the link below. It's in the pinned comment and in the description and also on the screen to save a discount. I've still lost count of the amount of times that I get DMs on Instagram asking where my code is for Squarespace. I've mentioned it enough times, and I realize you guys are busy as well, so I'll leave it there. Make sure you bookmark it, save it, all that jazz. And when you do build a website, make sure you use it because you'll save some money. For now, let's head into London and reveal my new car order. Let's go! Hello, and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to London. The sun is shining and it's time to reveal to you a car order I have made. I am on Park Lane, which will give you a clue because I'm at BMW Park Lane today to check out a car that I've actually never seen before, and I'm ordering for the channel for arrival at some point this year. We're going to get into the details, so let's head in. So let's head in then, see what we've got. Lots of cars in here. I'm not going to bore on too much about what we've got. There's some very special stuff down here. As if by magic, my mood's in here already. We've got M4 cab. Very cool dealership actually. It's been ages since I've been here. Very fancy pants. Right, here we go then. We've got an M3 competition here. Very nice make. All of these are for sale, by the way. They've all, I think, relatively recently just come in. This is one of the last M5 competitions they've ever made, and that is actually for sale right now in this unbelievable purple paint. I don't know the exact colour name, so don't tell me off, but that is super cool. One of the last ones they've ever made. Probably the last one before they start messing around with batteries and whatnot. Who knows? 8 Series in green, that is an absolute boat. Green on tan, look at that, woof. That's very cool. Black bolsters on the seats, very nice indeed. Right, round this corner then, as if by magic, I've managed to get the keys for the vehicle in question. So let's check out the XM and my order. Here we go then. Here she is, the XM in person. I've not actually seen one of these before, and what's very difficult to get across on camera is the sheer size of this thing. It is 5.119 meters, which is, think, long wheelbase Range Rover length. It's absolutely enormous. Let me come around the side. This isn't me having a go at it. This is part of what I love about it. There's so much presence on this thing. It is enormous. Look at it. It's huge. So what we're looking at then, this is a pre-spec car. This is actually one of the only cars you'll ever see the XM sitting around in a forecourt, because what they are, these are, I think they call them like quota cars, in that BMW will not make this car just to sit around a dealership. So some of the other cars in here, like the X5M and whatnot, there will be stock cars that dealers will have, and they will go into the dealership and then punters can walk in and buy them. That does not apply to this car. This car will specifically only be made if you order one. So there's not going to be loads of them flying around. This car actually sits on 22-inch wheels, and you can get them with 23. So there's a lot of pictures of these. I actually quite like these. Bit more tyre, obviously, than you get on the 23s, I presume anyway. But these are the 22-inch wheels. But very cool design. You've got the M motif on there as well. So all around the car then, you'll see these kind of gold logos. You've got one on the side there, and that's obviously the charging port. We're going to get onto the electricity element of this in a second. You've got badging there, but interestingly, there's no BMW badge on the bodywork as you would normally see on the back of one of these cars, but there is one, curiously, up there. I don't know when they were designing this, whether or not they were just kind of drawing straws out of a hat and just kind of deciding on design elements like that, but I think it's wacky in a really, really cool way. I know this car is controversial, and I know so many people have lots of very strong opinions on it, but I love it. I love the fact that not everyone likes it. I love the fact it's a bit out there, and the worst thing manufacturers I think these days can do is just make boring stuff, and that is not boring. It's complete hell. It's complete hell. Actually, one of my favorite design elements actually around the front, as I'm sure you can probably imagine, is, we'll turn that on again, it's that illuminated grille. I know people compare it to cartoon characters and whatever online. I've seen it all. I really don't care, and it's going to be in the comments as well. But I actually think that is brilliant. It's an absolute barge on the road. I can't wait to see these hooning around and actually get behind the wheel of my own one at some point towards the end of this year. They've estimated Q3. This is Sakir Orange interior-wise. Let's jump in then, see what we've got. A lot of it is quite familiar if you're a BMW person. Look at this. It's very fancy pants. Woof. You've got screens absolutely everywhere, and you've got a blue and gold one swinging around there. So everything in here is probably relatively familiar to BMW aficionados. We've got Bowers and Wilkins uprated hi-fi, kind of all these kind of angled triangular modern design elements around the place. And one of my favorite things actually is the roof. Don't quite know how to explain what's going on with the roof there. Illuminated XM badges in the headrest, and loads of room back there. We're going to get in there in a second. Very, very cool. Very nice. I don't know what I was expecting to see in there. You've got annoying new USBs, but other than that, it's very good. Interior quality, I must say, is very, very nice indeed. M stitching on there, and you've got the wheel. No flat bottom silliness. Can't say flat bottom without smirking. Carbon paddles as well. Very, very nicely done. So obviously the red label came out the other day, and that has got 100 brake horsepower, give or take, more than this one. This one's obviously got the 4.4 V8 in it, but it is also mated to an electric engine, which will give you 55 or thereabouts miles of range, claimed on the fully electric. I don't know why that's locked. Chaos. It keeps locking and unlocking on itself. I think when I go away with the key, it knows, and then it's... There we go. Even on the handles, you've got these kind of little triangles on there as well. In the back then, loads and loads of room. Vented M seats. Center console there. You do get these little pillows. I don't know whether or not they come with it. I would expect that for the price. The price on this particular car on the road, the one that we're looking at right here, spec'd, as we can see, is £151,000, which I know you're all going to gasp and think, oh my God, I'm not paying that. That's a ridiculous amount of money. Goodness me. But actually, this is a specifically designed M car. It's not just a repackaged X5. This is just something that the M department has put together themselves. So I think it's quite difficult to put this in a price bracket and determine whether or not this is good value. But if you compare it to what it's going to be competing with, obviously you've got the Urus, obviously you've got the G63. And Urus, you know, even a Bogo Urus now is what, 250 thereabouts? So it's about 100 grand more than one of these. And I actually think you're getting a lot more tech and a lot more for your money in one of these than in an Urus. And dare I say, actually I was going to say, you're probably going to look like
less of a scumbag in one of these, but I don't actually know whether you will. I think you look like a scumbag in an Urus or one of these. You're going to look like you sell things you shouldn't for a living in either of those cars. You've also got the G63, and they're nudging 200 grand as well, even for a used one. They're kind of flipping for some reason, even though they've been out for years. You've obviously got the Aston Martin DBX as well, which is a whole chunk of change more than this. We've got other content creators arriving here. This is just a little event at Mayfair, as I said at the start. Just launching this car. The covers are going to go back on this before people arrive. We've got Cars by Cayenne here. Just been having a little chit chat. We've been discussing this. I'm not going to put all of our opinions, all of our chat online. But yeah, make sure you go check out his account. He's here this evening as well. First past the post. He's beating most people to it. So my order then will be going in after this event, and we will be discussing specs very soon on the channel, because as you know, I will be dragging it out into a separate video, because then I can put more adverts in and pay for the thing. Fun and games. It's an ecosystem, ladies and gents. Right, so interestingly then, this is the screen actually that shows the whole spec, not that. Oh, I got it wrong. It's 157,000 as spec for this car. My spec will be a different price, but you actually got some of the economy figures on here. So again, I say interestingly, it's not that interesting. Combined MPG is actually 2.5 MPG better than the X5M competition that Mr. Hamilton has got, and I suspect that is because of the electric add-on there potentially. I don't actually know how they've worked that out. Again, I don't like the i8 when they claimed silly fuel economy. You couldn't actually do it, so this looks a little bit more realistic. But being able to bat around on full electric for 54 miles is really, really good news. And actually, if you compare the price of one of these to even the brand new spec'd up autobiography Range Rover, you're looking at around the same price, if you can even get one. So I think this is a good shout. I know the looks are divisive, but actually I think it's going to be very spec dependent, and you can really, really alter the look of this car depending on the spec you go for. So we're going to leave it there. I'm going to jump away and go and count the AdSense for another terrible video. Thank you very much for watching. Do subscribe, and a huge shout out to BMW Park Lane for allowing me to come and mope around and check out their X5, for allowing me to come and check out their XM. I keep trying to call it an X5M, it's not, it's just an XM. I'll see you very soon. Make sure you subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Check my Instagram out, and that's about it. See you later.